This is another episode of a place that you don't want to be with Big Time. This is a story about an inmate who fooled doctors into believing that he was ill enough to go to the hospital. Now what happens with that is, when an inmate has to go to the hospital, he's taken out of the facility and transported out to a regular hospital among the general population of the world. His goal is to get to the hospital and to make a move on his freedom. Now, the doctors have no idea that he's faking his injury, but you know, the officers in the facility, they have an idea that that might be the case. Nevertheless, he's cleared to go, so we go through the procedures. The first step is bringing him downstairs into the intake area and strip searching him before we leave. Now let me just tell you a little something about this inmate. This inmate goes by the name of Bogota. Now he's a very rare inmate, and he's also a nightmare to any correctional facility because he's a drug dealer and a convicted murderer that has natural life. Natural life. He's never getting ready. He's never going home. He's never going to see the street again, so he has nothing to lose. Okay, now we get this guy downstairs, and to move with him, because of his classification, he's a maximum security inmate. Now when you move with him, you move with a captain and 2 officers. I was one of the officers that was down there to move with him. I strip searched him and prepared him to go to the hospital. The procedure is strip down, run your fingers through your mouth, and squat down. Now he complied with the first part, but when I asked him to squat down, he bowed at me. I told him, we're not getting prepared for a karate match. I want you to squat. He gave a half-hearted squat. Wasn't good enough for me. So on the 3rd time when he got ready to squat, I took my hands, placed them on his shoulders, and pushed him down. The next thing that I heard was a loud gas sound coming out. He passed gas. And right after that, a hard metal object hit the floor, and it was very heavy. I looked down and saw the weapon that he had concealed in his rectum and kicked it out of the pen. I turned to the right of me and the left of me. The captain had ran out of the pen and locked me in with him. Now I'm doing battle with this inmate. It's me and him going at it, and finally I get the better of him. I get him down, subdue him, we flex cuff him. The thing that gets me about this guy, Bogota, after we stood him up and asked him what was his intention, he looked us straight in the eyes with a cold black heart and said, Mr. Simo, I'm going to tell you something. I don't give a fuck about you or anybody else. When I get to the hospital, I stab the doctor, I stab you, I stab the captain, because you and them, they're the only thing that separate me from freedom. So you do your job, you find the weapon, do what the fuck you gotta do. What you gonna do to me anyway? I got fucking life. You understand? Now, my heart is racing. I've been in a lot of situations, but knowing the caliber of inmate that I'm dealing with that has natural life and nothing to lose, you make sure you have a little different appreciation about your life and the job that you're doing. The weapon that was recovered from him was 9 inches in length and in diameter 2 inches. And this was concealed up his rectum. This weapon was passed around several roll calls because they were amazed that a human being can walk around and function with something like that in his rectum. Once we recovered the weapon and it was given to the proper authorities, Caballo was transferred out of Brooklyn House and sent to another facility on the other side of the city. Now I ask you a question, and it's just a little food for thought. If a man is willing to walk around with something as long and thick as that in his rectum, how far would he be willing to go for his freedom? My life wasn't a plug nickel. Stay out of jail, kids. That's just one of the stories. That's the end.